Okay, let's just dive right in. Have you ever looked up at the night sky from a city and just wondered, where did all the stars go? It's funny, right? We're surrounded by light, but we're losing one of the most incredible sights humanity has ever known. So today, we're going to dig into why our nights are getting so bright and how the fix isn't about, flipping everything off. It's about getting way, way smarter with our light.
I mean, really think about that for a second. This isn't some far off problem we can kick down the road. It's happening right now, in the span of a single childhood. More than half the stars are literally disappearing from view for the next generation. That's the real stake of what we're talking about here.
And this really shows you the two different worlds we're living in, right? On the left, you've got that familiar hazy orange city sky. And on the right, well, that's the breathtaking show we're missing out on. The crazy part is, for more than 80% of Americans, that view on the right, seeing the Milky Way from your own backyard, that's already a thing of the past. It's just gone. So you might be wondering, how fast is this all happening? Well, get this. The night sky is getting about 10% brighter every single year. This isn't some slow motion change. It's an explosion of light that's rewriting our environment at a breakneck speed. Okay, so the main offender here is something called sky glow. You know that weird orange dome you see hanging over a city when you're driving towards it at night? That's sky glow. It's pretty much just this giant fog of wasted light from millions of lights that aren't shielded properly. All that light shoots straight up, hits dust and particles in the air, and just bounces around, washing out everything. Then you've got something I'm pretty sure we've all dealt with: light trespass. You know, when your neighbor's security light feels like it's a spotlight aimed directly at your pillow at 3 in the morning, that's light trespass. It's light that's not just wasted, it's actually invading your space. And last but not least, there's glare. That's that super bright, painful light that makes you squint your eyes shut. And we usually just think of it as annoying, right? But here's the thing, it's actually a safety problem. It makes your pupils shrink, which means you can't see into the shadows nearly as well, which is kind of the opposite of what you want from a safety light. And this little cartoon, it just nails it, doesn't it? It shows how one single bad light fixture can cause all three problems at once. You've got light spilling up into the sky, making that sky glow. You've got it trespassing right into that person's window. And you've got that blinding glare hitting the person on the sidewalk. It's a total mess, inefficient, super annoying, and honestly, it makes things less safe, not more. So this is always the big question, and it's totally fair to ask. I mean, we've all been taught that light equals safety. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? All right, let's just bust the biggest myth right out of the gate. The idea that you need to blast an area with light all night long to stop crime. Thing is, the science just isn't there. It doesn't back it up. In fact, like we just talked about, that harsh glare creates these super deep, dark shadows, which are perfect hiding spots for someone up to no good. Something like a motion sensor light, now that is way more effective. The sudden change from dark to light is what actually startles and deters someone. Okay, myth number 2, the idea that brighter and whiter light is automatically better and safer. Turns out that really harsh bluish white light, that's the absolute worst for creating glare. Plus, it messes with our sleep, and it's a total disaster for wildlife. It all comes down to the quality of the light, not just how much of it you throw at a problem. And this one is maybe the most important myth to clear up. The whole dark sky movement is not about making everyone live in the dark. Not at all. The goal is dark skies, not dark ground. Big difference. It's just common sense, really. Keep the light pointed down on the sidewalk where you're walking or on your front steps, not wasting it by shooting it up into space or into your neighbor's bedroom. All right, so we've laid out the problem, we've busted a few myths, which brings us to the most important part. What do we do about it? How do we actually get smarter with our lighting? Believe it or not, the whole solution is basically right here in this one symbol graphic. It really just comes down to 4 basic ideas: where you point the light, what color it is, how bright it is, and when it's on. That's it. That's the framework for fixing this whole thing. So let's break that down into 5 simple rules anyone can use. First, is the light even useful? Is it doing a job? Second, is it targeted, shielded, and pointed down? Third, is it a low level? Use the dimmest light you can get away with. Fourth, is it controlled with a timer or a motion sensor? And fifth, is it a warmer color? If we just follow those 5 steps, our lighting instantly becomes way more responsible and effective. And you know what the best part is? This isn't just some theory on a slide.
Communities all over are already putting this stuff into practice, and it's working. They're doing it from the top down and from the bottom up.
Okay, let's look at Mendham, New Jersey, for example. Their local government passed what they call a dark sky ordinance, and it's full of these really simple, common sense rules for public spaces. Like lights have to be off by 10 p.m., motion sensors have to turn off after a few minutes, and no more blasting light on trees just to look pretty. It's a perfect example of a top-down solution.
But change also bubbles up from the ground, right? Out in Colorado, there's a local group called Dark Skies, and they've spent years just talking to their neighbors. They hand out these super simple pamphlets that show, hey, here's a good light, here's a bad light. It's all about education and building that support from the community up. And then some towns are getting really clever about it, even offering a little cash. Check this out. A town called Westmont in Illinois actually has a grant program. They'll give residents and businesses up to $500 to help them switch over to dark sky friendly lights. How cool is that?
So, what this all tells us is that this problem is absolutely solvable. And the payoff? Well, it's about a lot more than just getting a pretty view. Just take a look at this map of Oregon. You see those big, dark patches? Those aren't just empty spots on a map anymore. They are becoming economic gold mines. Towns are starting to lean into what's called dark sky tourism. They're bringing in people who want to see the stars, take photos, go on night tours. It's actually stretching their tourist season. So yeah, protecting the night can be really good for the local economy. And really, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. This is what we're trying to get back. A sky that just fills you with wonder. You know, we got so obsessed with lighting up every little corner that we kind of forgot something really simple. Sometimes you can actually see so much more in the dark. And the thing is, we can get this back. So, I want to leave you with a question. Tonight, or the next clear night you get, just do me a favor. Go outside and look up. What does it actually look like where you live? Can you see 5 stars, 50, the Milky Way? Because maybe the very first step to getting the night back is just taking a second to notice that it's missing.